Hello, and welcome to the first in what I hope will actually be many. I hope I don't actually just flop and forget to do this altogether. But hello, my name is Graves. I am the artist behind this channel, the Apocalyptic Creations, or the Wasteland Caravan, whatever I plan on either renaming this or just leaving it what it is. Uh, Long time no content, and I apologize for that. Last I posted was 3 months ago of a LARP character, which has relevant to my story time today. I hope to post once a week, get something out there, a video, whether it be it's probably all going to be LARP related, seeing that's pretty much what I only draw these days are commissions for my friends in the LARP community, or art for myself, scenes that have happened in the LARP events that I've attended, or just fun things that I think of that would fit the character or characters of myself and my friends. Um, I look forward to sharing my stupid stories that have happened over the past 4 years since I've joined the LARP community. Alright, LARP stands for Live Action Roleplay. It is very much like D&D, where you make a character, you choose the character's professions, you then dive into a pre-made story that revolves around a certain plot, certain season, and in a certain world. Most LARPs are fantasy based. That's the most popular ones. I play a fantasy slash steampunk LARP where I'm actually one of the writers. A shameless plug will come later because I really, really, really like this LARP. And it's actually one of my characters that you see on the screen is actually who I play currently in that LARP. The other major LARP that I play is a post-apocalyptic one, and I've been playing that one for a solid 4 years. 5 if I make it to January, but we will see since there's some big changes coming, and it just might be time to move on and focus on the LARP that I'm currently obsessed with. Uh, Today's story time is basically going to be talking about uh, character creation, I guess. Still not 100% sure. I had some ideas. I was originally going to start off with, my first character, the LARP I ever played, and then I recorded the entire drawing and the entire speed paint, and I got into the editing, and the entire file was corrupted, and I'm a big baby when it comes to reshooting things and redrawing things, so I got mad and gave up and haven't touched this project in 2 days. So I figured that it's time to start over and get going, and it is a very long intro, and I apologize for that. But let's get into it, shall we? This is Castor. Castor is my first character. See, I'm moving back into first characters of the LARP that I currently played called Bloodlines of Mytherium. Bloodlines of Mytherium runs in California, where both the LARPs that I talked about uh, play at the same site, which is very, very convenient for me and everyone else that plays. Uh, Castor is one of the race. They're humanoid animalists, kind of furries, not furries. They're called kindred. They are one of the more unique of the races in Bloodlines and Ethereum. They can only be found in the south, which are all mainly magic users, and they are the fantasy side of Bloodlines and Ethereum. Because, like I mentioned before, this is a fantasy and steampunk LARP. Um, Talking about character creation, I really like playing critters. I like playing the creepier ones. Some of my other drawings on my channel, you'll see some of my older characters, Clockwork, and my current character in the Dystopia Rising, which is the apocalyptic LARP, Cryptozoology. Cryptid has horns, he has bone spurs that come out of him, one of his eyes is a different color. He's just all weird, and that's just the type of character I like to play. I like playing the weird types of character. In this LARP, you have two options of weirder characters. You have the Kindred, which is what I play, and then if you want to play on the steampunk side of the LARP, you have essentially automatons called TikToks. They are really, really cool, kind of like, think Android, but steampunk, fully automated, have their own personalities. Really, really cool ways to diversify them, I guess you would say. Make them unique to your what you want to play: fighting class, crafting class, healing class, etc., etc. But that didn't really pique my interest. I wanted to play a little ferret boy, and that's what I did. I chose Castor. I made his backstory. I hooked up with some of my other friends that play the LARP, and I, got those background connections, so I'm not coming in just being like, "Hey, I'm the new idiot," which is basically what he is. He is the town idiot. Uh, he gets into a lot of problems. He causes a lot of issues. He is just all over a handful, and I love him. Um, and that is what draws me to LARPs, is making something that'd be a little bit different. Like, I wouldn't say he fits into the society completely. He tries his best. He gets distracted easily, and that just fits my type of play. Now, if when you're creating a character, you make sure you go through and you read everything. I made the mistake when I joined up this LARP, and I actually didn't read much of the rulebook, just what I needed to play my first game. But I've since then have read and reread and reread and reread this rulebook, because I am actually one of the LARP writers now, and it's a lot of fun. Um, But that is the one thing you're going to want to do. You're going to want to, like you would in any, D&D campaign or any other LARP, you're going to want to make sure that you like the character that you play. Most LARPs, give you an option to re-roll your character into something different your first couple of games, but after a while, you're stuck with it unless your character, dies. And just say it's a lot of learning that you don't need to sacrifice your happiness to fit in to what everyone else thinks and what everyone else feels. I'll have a separate story time on times where I've changed my complete enjoyment of a game to quote unquote fit into what the community or certain people in the community wanted uh, me to do, and uh, it just ended in just not having fun. And that's what LARPs are supposed to be about. It's about you having fun. You're the one who's making the costume. You're the one who's devoting your time and your money into playing this character, and it's for your enjoyment, no one else's. And that is also one of the key components of character creation: is, are you going to have fun? Is this what you want to do? And when you're new to a LARP, sometimes you don't know. Sometimes, hey, I went to this other LARP and I played this type of character arc, but it doesn't seem to fit in this LARP, and I'd rather actually seem to like the mechanics of this one to play a different type of character, and that's completely fine. Sometimes not everyone can just, be cookie cuttered into one type and one type only. And once you create your character, you've gotten your costume, you've talked to friends, you've talked to the community. If you don't have your going in solo, which is fine, just talk to the people. You're gonna start your first game, and it's going to be daunting. I found, even as someone who was LARPing for 4 years, joining Bloodlines at first was daunting, and the people Bloodlines is a lot smaller than the apocalyptic LARP that I play. It is probably only about 30 people at most, and I know every single one of these people. There hasn't been anyone who's come to the LARP who I haven't either talked to online at first or have been LARPing with for at least a minimum of 4 years. But I was still going in my first time as this character, just knowing the bare minimum of the rules that I had, knowing that the people who are writing are amazing people and it's going to be an amazing time. I was still scared, and that's okay. It's getting over that first hiccup, that first sense of little butterfly jitters that set in your stomach, wondering, well, what if this is a complete waste of time? What if I don't have fun? What if the people here don't like me? It's it's going to be okay. You gotta get that out of your mind. You gotta dive into your character. Just become your character. Become what your character's goals are, become what you feel that personality your character would be, and just forget about the outside world. And when it comes down to it, that's what LARP is amazing for. It's a good way to escape for a weekend. Go into a fantasy world, go into a post-apocalyptic world, go anywhere, and just have fun. Alright, I wanted to thank everyone for watching my first speed paint. Here is the finished example. I hope to have my Facebook page up better for full viewing of the image if you're interested. If you're interested in the LARP that I mentioned, and either of the two LARPs that I mentioned, I'll link them below. I hope to post at least once a week, every Friday, if not Monday and Friday, but we'll see. And until next time,